Hello guys, in this video I'm going to show you top 5 best Chromebooks under $300 that you can buy in 2022. As always, all the links to all the products are mentioned in the description box below. The world of Chromebooks continues to get more and more exciting by the day. This is even true when companies announce a new Chromebook at CES, but it isn't actually on store shelves until much later in the year. And while the market for high-end Chromebooks seems to be heating up, the same can be said for those looking for the best Chromebook under $300. So without wasting any time, let's get started. So, number 5 on the list is Lenovo Chromebook Duet. Lenovo's Chromebook Duet has been available since its launch in 2002, but this is still arguably the best Chromebook under $300. Not only does Lenovo include a kickstand back cover and detachable keyboard case, but the fact that you can go from using it like a laptop to having a tablet is just extremely convenient. The Duet offers a compact and portable form factor, thanks in part to the 10.1-inch touchscreen display. That little display can even reach up to 400 nits of brightness, which outperforms some of the more expensive, best Chromebooks. MediaTek's Helio P60T chipset sips on the 7,000 mAh battery like a fine wine, allowing you to get up to 10 hours of battery on a single charge. And there's even USI stylus support, but you'll have to pick one of those up yourself, as Lenovo doesn't include one in the box. Port selection is a little rough, as we noted in our review, due to the fact that you'll only have a single USB-C port at your disposal. And while it's great that this doubles as the charging port, trying to connect any wired peripherals, like an HDMI cable, will require a USB-C hub. Nevertheless, the Chromebook Duet continues to impress despite its pitfalls and the fact that it's a little more than 2 years old at this point. Now number 4 on the list is Asus Chromebook Flip CM3. In case you weren't aware, we've reached the point where more and more Chromebook makers are starting to use MediaTek chipsets across its lineup. And that's part of the intrigue with the Asus Chromebook Flip CM3, as you'll find the MediaTek MT8183 chipset clocked at 2 GHz. But MediaTek has designed this chip with Chrome OS in mind, something that you won't really find when looking at the rest of the Chromebook market. Unfortunately, the Flip CM3 might disappoint some in the performance area, but there are a few other tricks that Asus has included to help sway you in this direction. For one, its small and compact form factor is extremely enticing, as its display measures at just 12 inches. But the added benefit here is that Asus uses an IPS panel with a 3:2 aspect ratio, making the CM3 a great sub-$300 Chromebook for productivity. And as you might expect, the Flip CM3 supports a USI stylus, but again, you'll need to provide that on your own. One of the key reasons why you might consider the Flip CM3 over the competition comes down to battery life, with Asus rating this for up to 16 hours on a single charge. This blows everything else away on this list, even if you end up needing to charge before you reach the 16-hour mark. Asus definitely hit the mark here, and while it may not be the most impressive performer, it might just end up being your next Chromebook. Now, number 3 on the list is Dell Chromebook 3100. Despite being one of the largest laptop makers in the world, Dell doesn't seem to put too much of a focus on the Chromebook market. This really comes as a surprise given all of the different options we see from Lenovo, but there is one compelling option if you're looking for a Chromebook for school. The Dell Chromebook 3100 doesn't include any major features that jump off of the screen, and that's really just fine. It uses the same Intel Celeron N4020 found on many of the best cheap Chromebooks, and you're limited to only getting 4 GB of RAM. Storage is available in either 32GB or 64GB configurations, but you won't find SSD support as Dell relies on flash storage only. Where the Chromebook 3100 does excel is in its port selection, offering dual USB 3.1 ports, dual USB-C ports, a lock slot, 3.5mm audio combo jack, and even a micro SD card reader. Top is best Chromebook for video editing under $300. Chromebooks come with a free, built-in virus protection, and it is also able to run Android apps which can be used in your video editing process such as Adobe Premiere and After Effects. So, number 2 on the list is HP Chromebook 11A. The HP Chromebook 11 is an intriguing Chromebook. Not because of its performance, which pretty much matches up with the rest of the options here, but because you can get a small and compact Chromebook with an HD touchscreen for under $300. It almost feels like HP should have just turned this into a direct competitor for the Chromebook Duet, but opted to stick with the laptop form factor instead. Unfortunately, when it comes to configuring this specific Chromebook, your options are limited. And by limited, we mean that you only have one configuration to choose from with 4GB of RAM and 32GB of eMMC flash storage. Other features of the Chromebook 11 include incredible battery life, rated for almost 16 hours, a USB-C port supporting power delivery, along with a microSD card reader. You'll also find a middling 720p webcam to go with stereo speakers, but we can only classify that as serviceable at best. But with an 11.6-inch touchscreen and a battery that never runs out, we would be remiss if we didn't include the Chromebook 11 on this list, as it's also one of the best Chromebooks for kids. Last but not the least on the listing is Samsung Chromebook 4 Plus. Those who are looking for a cheap Chromebook with a big screen will definitely want to consider the Samsung Chromebook 4 Plus. Samsung packed a 15.6-inch display into the Chromebook 4 Plus, offering more screen real estate compared to the regular Chromebook 4. As you might expect for a sub-$300 Chromebook, the configurations options are pretty limited. You'll be able to get either 4GB or 6GB of RAM and up to 64GB of eMMC storage, but if you want a traditional SSD option with 128GB of storage, you'll be getting rather close to the $400 price. And at that point, there are plenty of other options that offer better performance for the price. With this Chromebook, you won't be getting the best performance, and the 15.6-inch display doesn't look all that great when it comes to viewing angles. But what you get in return is solid all-day battery life and just enough power to do some light multitasking. There are plenty of compromises to be found here, but Samsung's excellent build quality and the larger screen easily help to outweigh the cons. I hope you liked the video. See you next time.